Hello, Cancer. Elsie here to do your reading for the week ahead, my friends. How are you? Thank you so much for clicking here. If you are a brand new Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, or you're just cross-watching and you're just tried to decide to give Ten of Cups Tarot a try, I appreciate you. And if you are somebody who is here all the time, the ride or die, thank you so much for watching, clicking, subscribing, being in the comments. Your thumbs up are amazing. Thank you so much for your subscriptions and all of that stuff. I am here to do a reading for you for the week ahead, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Welcome to Water Day. And this is going to be for the week ahead, whether you find it today, tomorrow, or next year. Let's find out what's going on with you, Cancer. We're going to go first with the Psychic Tarot. Then we're going to go with the this Oracle deck here, Sign of the Times Oracle, and then we'll follow up with some tarot. What's coming up with Cancer in the week ahead, please? What's coming up for Cancer in the week ahead? All right. We do have bottom of the deck in the very near future after the week ahead is Passion Ignited. So it looks like there's going to be some changes coming, my friend. It says movement, choices, and decisions. We do have emotional loss and we do have balance. So the card number 11 is the Justice card. This is balance, karmic balance. I feel like a truth is coming out, or that there is going to be something that is going to come into balance after some type of emotional loss. I feel like you're coming to terms with something in the week ahead, Cancer, something that either you feel like you missed out on or something you felt like you couldn't have, but it does, or something maybe that you feel that you've lost or missed out on. I want to say movement, choices, and decisions tells me that you're moving toward this emotional loss, and by sort of staring it in the face. I want to say this is 5, which is a lack, right? 5s are always lack. And it feels like that you've been dealing with some sort of an emotional loss of either a job or a person or a situation. Take it as it resonates. I feel like you're about to figure out something about that situation that is going to give you a little more balance or some karmic justice here. So it feels like whatever is on your mind as this emotional loss, I feel like you're moving toward balance. So it does feel like you are going to figure out why you're sad about the situation. We do have a foundation and achievements with Passion Ignited here. So for some of you, you might be excited to buy a house or build a house or get some sort of a firm foundation. We do have achievements here. So it does feel like after a time of conflict and defeat that you are going to get the thing that you've been hoping or wishing for. We do have a rainbow here, right? These colors are kind of the same, right? The fire and the rainbow. So it does feel like that whatever you are about to get your foundation on, whatever you're about to achieve is something that excites you or ignites you. And I want to say that it's after a hard cycle that you've been through, which is a cycle of emotional loss. So maybe you stumbled in the past, but it feels like something is coming forward here. Excuse me. Something is coming in the future here that is going to give you some balance. Let's pull one of these cards and let's get to some tarot. Tell me about Cancer, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Cancer. We have phrases and motivations. Never give up. So it feels like you are doing whatever you can to keep yourself in a good mood. We've got card number 24. It feels to me like I'm supposed to tell you that that you're supposed to find a group of people, someone to give reciprocity to. We've got card number 24, never give up. I feel like what you want is coming. We have a couple of hearts that are here, but I think that you're supposed to motivate yourself, maybe with phrases. And I always say when this card comes up, it reminds me of the person who's always sharing the memes. She is me. So I feel like you find ways to motivate yourself through sayings, through motivational videos. I feel like that's what you're supposed to do. And then share that stuff, I feel. Bottom of the deck, we have Evil Eye Protection. All right. Let's look at some tarot here for you, Cancer. So if anybody's got their eye on you that wishes you bad or wishes things bad on you, I want to say that you're protected by the universe. And I feel like I don't think you really worry about those people, to be honest. I don't think you do. Let them think what they want. Let them give you the evil eye. You just keep doing what you're doing, Cancer. Tell me about movement, choices, and decisions. There are some big decisions and choices that are coming up here, but please know, even if they are hard, that they are going to cause movement. And we do have emotional loss. So for some of these, it feels like you're going to have to cut out some things. That's what it feels like. We've got two, which is balance, but which is also choices here. Tell me about movement, choices, and decisions for Cancer. All right, that one won't go back in. It is about romantic things, Cancer, quite possibly. Now, when I see this particular depiction of the Knight of Cups, I feel like for some of you that maybe the choice and decision you're making is to love yourself more, because he is holding a cup and is touching the chest. So for some of you, I feel like your choice is to love the self more. But for others of you, I feel like you do want movement in some sort of a romantic situation here. And I think that you're moving at it slowly and carefully, strategically, but I feel like psychically with this Cancer energy. So it says choices and decisions. I think you're making decisions of the heart, Cancer. Look, we have two indications here that you are very deep, very heartfelt. Things affect you really deeply. When they don't end up going your way, they affect you very deeply in terms of your emotional self. You're like probably the most emotional, well, besides Pisces, in the zodiac, the one who maybe keeps it under the surface because you don't really want to share the emotional loss. Tell me what the emotional loss is about, please. Tell me about this emotional loss. We've got the Nine of Cups. So I think that you think you've given something up, or you've missed the boat, or the emotional loss is like, I could have had this happiness, but I gave it up. That's what it feels like here. You need to know that there is still an opportunity for the 10 cups here. We've got 9 and 1. And I feel like it's up to you, though, because this person's holding their heart and that person's holding their heart. So I feel like what is stopping you from getting your 9 of Cups or being as happy as you can be in your wish fulfillment energy is this emotional loss. It feels like something is lingering, something you feel like you've missed out on or passed up, or something that you feel like you've lost. It does feel relationship related. Tell me about balance, please. Balance is Libra energy. Tell me more. What is it? Because balance to me, it's also balance, but it's also a balance because truth is coming to the picture. That there is some sort of a truth that you're facing here. Maybe the truth is that you feel like you have had some sort of an emotional loss or given something up. We do have the Ace of Pentacles. So the Ace of Pentacles is telling me that there is something that is coming up here that is brand new. It is also something that's abundant. Now, abundance covers a lot of stuff, as I always say. It could be money, could be love, could be luck, could be job related. It could be anything, really. The Ace of Pentacles is something and nothing, right? At the very beginning, we got to plant it where we want to plant it in a fertile ground to find out what it's going to grow to. What the abundance is all about. We do have the Three of Wands. All right, you are making a decision about your happiness in the week ahead. We do have the Three of Pentacles. We have 2 threes. Past, present, and future are the threes. Sorry, just listening. Past, present, and future are the threes. It's also about a new journey, though. Feels like a new journey is close here that you're kind of ramping up for. One more. We've got the Seven of Swords. So you're keeping it under the radar here. It feels like with the Seven of Swords that something is under the surface, something you've not yet brought to the surface, which I think has to do with your feelings. This might be why you're suffering the emotional loss, because you do have a hard time with trusting, bringing your feelings to the surface. You're always kind of, side-eyeing things. And I feel like you don't trust a situation here. I feel like this does have to do with romance, and it does feel like that you are thinking about someone else. It feels like here you're making a choice or a decision to move forward with an Ace of Cups. You do have the ability to have this wish fulfillment here, and we do have 10 cups here, right? The Knight holds 1, and then there's 9. I think that you feel you have given up some sort of opportunity to be the happiest you could ever be. And I want to say that it has to do with, like, I feel like there's somebody out there who you had a cooperative sort of collaborative energy with, somebody who was ready to teach you and you were teaching them. It feels like in the Pentacle world that you two really get along really well, that you're friends, or you have a good basis or a good base of friendship, that you're kind of like you're both on your own paths, but you're sort of moving in the same direction, which I think is the direction of the Ten of Cups. We have the Three of Pentacles, which is the friendship I was talking about, because for me as a reader, it is collaboration, cooperation, but it's in the pentacle world. So it could be at work, in the work environment, it could be with friends, maybe you have a group of friends, that are like-minded here. We do have the Fourth Pentacle here, and I want to say that what you're holding on to is balance or truth, or getting the truth about something possibly, because there is something that's been under the surface here. There is something that's being concealed from you, or something you're concealing from someone else. You might even be concealing your own happiness from yourself, because you're very focused on what you've lost rather than what's here left to gain. We do have the Three of Wands here, and I want to say that what is arriving, or what is coming toward you right now that you don't see because it's being concealed, is the Nine of Cups. I feel like you're busy sort of wallowing in the energy of what you've lost. Maybe you've had a lot of loss. Look, there are people in this life who have lost friends, who have lost family. Like maybe you feel like you've lost so much that you can't regain your happiness. But I want to say that something is on its way to you, and it is the thing that is on its way to you, I feel, is going to give you, it's like a best friend, or someone who is a friend, and it will turn into like wish fulfillment or love. The Ten of Cups, I feel like it's like romance entangled with friendship. It starts with a basis of us being on each other's team and supporting each other, but I feel like it does turn into love for you, Cancer. We do have the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck. You might have a Pisces placement. You don't have to. But I want to say that for some of you, maybe you have been silent with someone, or maybe you've been keeping to yourself. Maybe there's just not much to say here, but I also feel like with the High Priestess that the High Priestess usually is quiet or by themselves or inward, because they're learning and they're growing within, and they don't really need anyone else but spirit to help them do that. So I feel like maybe you've been spending some time alone, and maybe that's why the High Priestess is here. I feel like you're getting in touch with your spiritual self or your psychic energy, because Cancer, you have a lot, and there's so many Cancers that I meet that don't believe that they have this psychic energy. That they're like, yeah, it's just luck, or, there's so many Cancers that I meet that don't realize that they are quite psychic. So I feel like with the Nine of Wands here, that you've been hurt over and over again, and you're feeling exhausted. You're feeling exhausted. You don't know if you can keep going or if you can go the last leg. Well, here it is. The universe is saying, look, you have all the energy that you need. The 9 and the 1 is 10. Drop the burdens. And you will do that by paying attention to the psychic self. This is meditation, manifestation. It's also mystery and secrets. It's like you're a secret keeper. You're a person who doesn't really share your stuff with everybody on the surface. You're a secret keeper. Let's clarify a little bit. Tell me about Cancer, please. Movement, choices, decisions. We do have the Knight of Cups. Tell me why we have the Knight of Cups. I feel like you are making some sort of really big decision to move forward to the 10 of Cups, even though your heart is still hurting over some type of an emotional loss. And it might be a loss of a friend. It might be a loss of a relationship. We've got the Emperor here. So you definitely are the one that is stepping forward. And whether you have an Aries placement or not, I don't really care. When the Emperor is in the room, so are all the kings. But, the Emperor is not only a person, but also an energy, right? This energy is someone who has tenacity, someone who is stable, someone who has their finances in order, their life is in order, someone who is the conqueror. I can get that if I want it, but you won't even show up if you don't think you can win. So this tells me that if you are the Emperor, I feel like you are someone who knows that if you step forward, make the decision or the choice to move forward here, that I feel like you're going to get whatever it is that you want. We've got the Knight of Swords. You've got something to say. The Knight of Swords is the one that's brave, very courageous, and just, is brave enough to say what they have to say and just say it all at once. And I don't really care how it lands. I'm just here to tell you what I need to tell you. And so I feel like you have something to say to someone here. We do have the Two of Swords, someone who possibly has you blocked or is blocking you, or possibly you are about to tell somebody, you're about to say, look, I've been hurt before. My heart's been crushed before. Two of Swords, and one is the Three Swords. That you've been disappointed in romance. Your heart's been crushed in romance. You've it feels like since then, you've been kind of dating here, there, and everywhere. I want to say this person has their eyes covered and they are just sort of throwing those knives willy-nilly at that bullseye. I feel like you've been dating other people, trying to find your person, but I feel like there's something that you're failing to see. And what you're failing to see is that if you step forward in terms of romance, and if this is an emotional loss, something you've had in the past that you feel has interrupted your Nine of Cups, I feel like right now dating or throwing your knives willy-nilly because you don't want to see the situation, the actual romantic situation for what it is. It feels like here that you're blocking yourself from love. You're blocking yourself from romance. That's what it feels like. Tell me about the emotional loss here. Because I think that you had the Nine of Cups within your hand and then you let it go. Tell me about the emotional loss here, please, for Cancer. We have the Seven of Wands, so you had really tight boundaries. I feel like you had really tight boundaries. You were holding your ground, I feel like you didn't want to let somebody in here. We've got the Knight of Wands, but you were very attracted to them. And I feel like I feel like you want to communicate with them. We have 7 wands and 1 in the hand of the Knight is 8. I feel like probably in the week ahead, you're thinking about communicating with someone or shooting your shot here. We've got 8 wands, which is quick moving energy, but it also can be indicative of communication, maybe texting. So I think that whatever you feel like you've lost emotionally, I feel like you want to try and recoup that in the 9 of Cups here. We do have the Magician. You're going to have to pull out every bit of magic that you have, Cancer. I feel like you're going to have to pull out every bit of magic that you have. And I feel like the first thing that you're going to use here is the Ace of Wands, because we've got wands here as well. So we do have 9 wands. Again, wounded warrior energy, right? Feeling like you just can't get past whatever it is that hurt you in the past. It feels like it hurt you very deeply. This High Priestess is someone who's very deep. Now, the High Priestess, if it's not you, could be somebody else. It could be a Pisces. Maybe that person is the wounded warrior. Maybe they pushed you away. Maybe that's what it is. But I feel like should you two get together, I feel like you could drop this energy of wounding, I want to say. You could heal each other. So the Magician here is Aries energy, and when the Magician shows up, I want to say that you felt that this connection, the passionate, desirable, maybe even physical connection that you had with the person that you had emotional loss with, that it was like right on point. I want to say that there was a lot of passion here, but there was no stability, because I feel like you were anticipating being hurt, and so you manifested that. I feel like you were anticipating that this person was going to crush your heart, and so you tightened up your boundaries. You wouldn't let them pass. You wouldn't bring your emotions to the surface or show them the 9 of Cups, and I feel like that's where the emotional loss comes in, that somebody may have walked away. I feel like you're going to get balance in your finances. So for those of you who have been having a hard time with business or a hard time with money in general, maybe your money is not stretching as far as it used to because the economies are all whack all over the world. And we have so many uprisings and things that are affecting food and how we get food, how it's brought to us. I feel like your money is going to start going further, or you're going to start making more. I feel like with the Ace of Pentacles, there is some sort of a new opportunity that's coming to you, and it is going to give you some sort of karmic balance, or there's the truth of the Ace of Pentacles is going to appear here. And the truth, hang on, just dropped a whole pile of cards. I feel like with the balance that's coming in on your finances here, I feel like you're going to be able to begin something new. So maybe you're going to invest in a business, or just make investments, maybe stock market. I'm not telling you to do that, but maybe if you're someone who's interested in that, you might do something like that. But I feel like things are about to come into balance here. We have the 4 of Pentacles. We have the Chariot, which is you. And then we have the High Priestess. So again, the High Priestess appears. It feels like there is psychic energy here. I want to say that you're far more psychic than you know, and that you are probably connecting with the High Priestess. So maybe you don't understand your deep psychic energy, but the other person, the person that I feel that maybe you got spooked by and wandered off, or maybe they did, I feel like that you both are High Priestess energy, and feminine or masculine, it doesn't matter. I feel like you two are connected in a way that can't be broken. You're connected in this very psychic way in the fifth realm, like in the 5D, right? We have the Chariot here, and so it's telling me here that Cancer definitely does go into this realm whenever you need answers, and whether you know that you're doing it or not, I feel like there is something here that you're holding on to. I think what you're holding on to is hopefully getting some balance in this investment. So whether the investment is money for you or it is love or a relationship, I feel like it works out for you. This person's quite in balance here, right? There's balance here. We've got temperance here. This is the moment of alchemy. So I feel like in the very near future, which is maybe not next week, but the week after that, maybe getting closer into the end of March, that you might receive some sort of balanced energy from the universe here that tells you it's time to go. So I want to say that there is a partnership here that's being concealed, or maybe we're silent with each other, not being honest with each other about our feelings. The Nine of Cups is here. It feels like what is arriving is the Nine of Cups. So I want to say for those of you who are hoping that you might have some sort of interest in love coming, I want to say that that is part of this reading as well. That it does feel like you will be getting some sort of happiness that you've been hoping for or waiting on. Tell me about the Three Pentacles, please. You've been holding on to it, by the way, because 3 and 1 is 4. Holding on to the hope that this psychic connection that you have, that when you get in your vehicle and go, that you will race to the victory. Because the 4 of Pentacles tells me that you've been holding on to a pentacle here. You've been holding on tightly to it, hoping that maybe you'll be able to give that pentacle to somebody. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pentacles. Look, you are somebody who's very confident about moving forward. You know what to do with your money. You're very good in business, or you're very good at what you do. You're a subject matter expert, I want to say, and you built your life from the bottom up by yourself. Nobody helped you do that. We do have the Page of Pentacles, which is the opportunity. I think that you are making a decision, and I think maybe it's like tossing a coin. It's like, heads I will, tails I won't. That's what it feels like. And I feel like you are going to offer someone something small. Can I take you out for coffee? Can we have a conversation? Can we start back at the 3 Pentacles where we were before, when we were building this relationship or friendship here? It does feel like you have a very deep connection with somebody who could be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy here. You have a very deep connection, or you have history with this person. Now, it could be history in this life. Maybe you have a deep connection from life's past, but this is knowing somebody. This is having spent time with them. You know them, you have history with them, and it could be somebody who is an earth sign. It doesn't have to be, but the Capricorn Queen is here, and that is the person who is mimicking the Empress. So this is someone who is doting on you, being very kind to you, giving of themselves, being very charitable. I feel like you miss that. I want to say, I feel like you miss it, and I feel like it's time for you to stop holding on so tight to a memory or a hope, and it's time for you to actually take action and move forward. We do have the 3 of Wands here, and so I do feel that there's action being had here, but I feel like that the action is that something is either coming at you, or there is some sort of energy of 10 cups. It's like ships that are coming in as you're realizing that the absolute apex of happiness is within this connection here, possibly. Tell me what we're hiding from each other, or maybe what you're hiding from them, or they're hiding from you. Tell me about the 7 of Swords, please. That you do want a new beginning here. There's the 9 of Cups. You do want this new beginning here. You do want to message them. You want to get back on the path, have some fun, be free. This is throwing passion here, there, everywhere. It's like we're not really going to plan. We're going to be kind of impromptu with our fun. It feels like you've been holding yourself back from the 9 of Cups because you're too scared to move forward. So what's being concealed, I feel, is that you really want this. You really want to communicate or call them or text them or whatever it is, but you've really been holding back. And you're holding yourself back from, my friend, is victory, a lot of attention, and you're holding yourself back from the 9 of Cups. Now, your person might be someone who is in the public eye or who gets a lot of attention. So maybe you feel that there might be some competition, possibly. We have the Tower. We have the Empress, and we have the Moon. Okay, There it is. So I did mention the Empress. The Empress appeared. So it feels like the Empress is going to experience a tower. And I feel like the Empress will experience a tower that they maybe were feeling but couldn't see. Now the Empress is quite psychic, right? Just like the High Priestess. The Empress is one who is always keeping in touch, co-creating with the universe, is very, very psychic in their own right. They are Taurus, they are Libra, they're balanced. This is a person who creates something out of nothing. And I want to say that this Empress, I feel, is maybe either in the midst of a tower, or you're the one that's going to bring the tower, because we do have the Page of Wands here, that your communication is actually going to pull down an illusion. And the illusion is that you shouldn't reach out, or you couldn't reach out, or you couldn't have your 9 cups here. You've been holding yourself back. So I feel like the Empress, although might be feeling you vibrationally, is unsure what is about to arrive. I feel like what's about to arrive is your communication. And this Empress, I feel, is not expecting that. So I feel like right now this is where you are. You're in the 8 of Swords here, my friend. The 8 of Swords tells me that you can't make a decision, or you've put yourself in this prison of the mind here. It's time for you to go. You do need this expansion here, but I feel like you got to get out of this 8 of Swords first, my friend. Let's talk about these motivational phrases here. Tell me about never give up. I feel like you should never give up. I feel like Gaga has a song that she sang for the movie Lion. It's called Never Give Up. You might want to go there. There might be some lyrics there that might inspire you. So we do have motivational phrases. Never give up. I feel like that's also what's under the surface, that you're the person who never gives up. Cancer, you have tenacity. You have so much tenacity, like more than anyone I know. And I feel like you just never give up. If you know it is to be yours, and your intuition or your psychic energy is telling you that, you will never give up. But I feel like right now you're thinking a lot in hermit mode. And I feel like you're trying to hulk up here. I think you're trying to give yourself reasons why you should move forward here. And I feel like you are going to be speaking to someone about the wisdom that you've learned since the two of you have been apart. Okay, now I will go. Bit of devil energy here. Doubt, feeling like you can't or you won't, or there's what reason why you shouldn't. Ignore the devil. The fear is a liar. I'm just going to say that. Fear is a liar. I'm going to go for now. Thanks, Cancer. See you next week. Bye-bye.